like flame sword flanked down bottom middle to go towards sniper, but that was on extraction, so I wonder if they could play something different. And obviously we already know Flame is not going bomb center because he is going straight for rail with APG. And I see Enable go for sniper for status quo, and I don't see him having any challenge over there from high alert. It baffles me that no one challenges for the sniper at the beginning. I saw the same thing happen when Impact, Impulse.
Yeah.
They didn't have anyone challenge snipe down for sniper, and Enable was able to get this for free. So that just blows my mind because Railgun, yeah, it's great. Okay, Mohawk is alright to control, but
a dominating sniper.
I would rather have a sniper on one of the side streets over all of that.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, sniper's a little bit at the bottom of the map, so I can see teams kind of hesitating, but it's such a strong power weapon, especially in Halo 4.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you don't have to get over position right off the bat for it. You can charge kind of, you know, towards top center and then make your way over to it, or jump over from that fin or wing all the way over to it. So there's ways to go about it without giving up too bad positioning. But it just seems that some of these teams just give it up, and I don't understand that.
Here we have APG with a railgun. He's going to be able to pick up a nice headshot with that VR there, but they have a nice little lead here, and maybe using his power weapons correctly and maybe some solid push they can pull away.
Yeah, I like what they were doing. You were saying how he was kind of sitting back supporting the VR and shooting the railgun, and what he was doing though is he's staying with the whole team. They're all kind of pushing these streets together.
Yeah.
So I don't know if their exact strategy is, all right, let's push from red street to blue street and back and forth, or if they're just kind of running together and haven't even fully talked strategy together. It's really hard to tell with the squad. And my guess is that they have not talked strategy together really, because after seeing them lose to Pure and being having them talk to me about their solid slice strategy, which is non-existent, I just have to feel that they're just going by pure teamwork and just relying on that along with their skill.
And one thing I really like about this squad is they move in a pack. You know, they don't really get too separated from somebody, from another teammate. They're always kind of there to help, which is definitely a strong force if it's done correctly. And in the other instance, you can be wiped out really quick if you're not doing it right. So
yeah, and they're a team that's going to do that right. They know how to bait and switch when one's weak, back down, and buy time for his teammates. And it just seems like they're just kind of letting the other team dictate where they're going. They're just kind of reacting to where they're at, which isn't a bad thing, but I just don't see SQ having their own sort of set strategy, like, all right, well, am I setting up for the sniper, or when's this coming up? And, you know, they just straight up gave up their sniper. High alert, sniping demon on high alert was able to pick that up uncontested. Yeah. So it just, it just confuses me.
Right. I mean, especially with having a status quo, all four players being so well known, you would think they'd be right on top of that.
Yes. A team of this caliber, to let a weapon, the most important weapon on this map, just go uncontested when all of them are alive, not going to understand if they're all dead or some situation like that. But no, they were all alive, and it just seemed like they were unaware of it.
Well, regardless, Snakebite has the sniper in his hands right now, and looking down the street is a pretty good position. You know, he's trying to look over APG, and he really wants to help his teammates. And just missing that sniper, you can tell he's in the right spot to start getting some kills.
Yes, streets is where you want to be with sniper on Haven. A couple reasons. One, you have so many different angles, like you can see how he can check over top center. But mainly it's because you're in such a safe position. There are the lifts that can come up and surprise you from sides, but they're easy snipes, and a top player is going to be able to just line up those easy headshots and just poke around the corner and hit those. He's not very vulnerable. He's able to back down for the most part, and then unless he, like I said, unless he gets lifted on or completely caught off guard, but you don't have too many angles to cut off with on the streets, and that's why it's definitely a superior spot to snipe on Haven.
Yeah. So, what's your feel about the ordinances as well? Because we noticed that Snakebite has one right now, and in my personal opinion, sometimes you don't drop them just for the time factor of like when's the best time to drop one and all that.
I agree. Like if you're in a fight or about to be in a fight, you don't want to give away your position, or you just want to get into it. Like, you know, you don't want to give it up with the possibility of losing it.
Yeah, that's a good call right there.
Yeah, it looks like he did when he finally was out of any sort of action, and I actually do prefer hard light shield over the other two in most instances.
Yeah.
Now if I have like a sniper rifle, or I would choose thruster pack, or if it's a very close near end game, or if the other team has a sniper rifle, I would definitely choose you know, I'd go between hologram or hard light.
Yeah, true.
Hologram in like a 49 kill situation. Hard light any other time because I can peek around the corner and see where the person's at.
Yeah.
But
in one of the earlier series I was watching between Crowd Pleasers and Warriors, Kratos was able to throw up a hard light shield and deflect a rocket back into Goofy's face, I think, and so that was an incredible play to watch.
I heard something like that. I heard, I think it was actually Rhino who had it reflected in his face or something like that, and that's just one of those rare circumstances you hear about, like, wow, that really just happened. But that's why hard light, you can't go wrong in a lot of cases as far as those choices, because I feel that if I'm getting shot at, I can turn around, pull up my hard light shield, and buy enough time for a teammate to take advantage of that. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to live. It more so means that my teammate's going to kill that other person before taking any damage. And so I'm at least going 1 for 1 in that case, essentially.
Yeah, and especially with some good teamwork, a hard light shield can be really essential. You can just stay alive, and, and that's all you really need.
And that's like how I feel like worst case scenario with it. Best case scenario, a lot of times I'll put some shots, distract them, and pull up the hard light, and my team will kill them, and I won't even die. So, so much so many good things can happen with it. But.
Well, here we have status quo kind of pulling away at this point, but Hyler just dropping a sniper there. This game is not looking too great for them. They just went 3 down, and I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see them pulling this one back. I mean, anytime I see a game this close to being done, any kills, kills close to even a 10-kill deficit, I consider the game pretty much being over.
It's really
when they're up 20 and you're on a team with status quo being up by that much, they're not going to come back. So all they can really hope for is
just to keep some momentum, keep like the
not get their heads down, and then make adjustments from this. So my assumption was, well, first off, they for sure had to have banned either Abandoned TS or Solid Slice TS that first round. And here, obviously seeing how that Haven game went, what would you choose out of the ban for game 2? Obviously, I would ban Haven Extraction. That way you don't have to deal with them, because obviously status quo is very strong in that. I mean, they beat Pure on it, and they're very comfortable beating you by 20+ kills this last game. So you have to ban Haven Extraction, which will leave them on a Drift CTF or Solid Slice CTF. I assume that status quo will choose a Drift CTF because they're a bit more comfortable with that. However, if I was status quo in this situation, realizing that we just won that game by so much, I almost would want to get in like a bit more practice in Solid Slice CTF if they haven't played it as much. So that's just me personally.
It's Friday. This is the time to maybe test out Solid Slice.
Yeah, it's time to like refine all your strategies. Like make sure you have everything down, because obviously you do not. You lost a match already in pool play, so you need to practice and get, refine everything.
Definitely interested to see whether they choose the safe route and kind of go with that Adrift, or if they're going to go with Solace.
Yeah, I assume it's Adrift.
Yeah.
But, there's a small chance it'd be a Solace, but almost positive it'll be Adrift. What? All right.
Oh, wow.
So I was completely wrong, and this is the reason why High Alert's going to lose, probably, because they did not ban Haven Extraction.
Well, there's some teams play really different when it comes to Extraction, but I think we're going to...
Well, yes. So go ahead, throw us to a commercial, Fizzer.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break here on AGL 5, and we'll be right back. Nice work. Thanks.
AGL 5 Nashville is proudly brought to you by Halo 4 and 343 Industries, Bonafide Boarding Clothing Company, Astro Video Gaming Equipment, Monster Energy, Girlfriend Records, and Chaos Theory.
All right. Well, it looks like we're back here. We're getting right into Haven Extraction, and I think we're going on board with Caesar, or actually Flamesword.
Yep, Flamesword, and we both were surprised by this. Don't you agree? Because I thought in this situation, that high alert, after getting handled on that first Haven game, would be like, you know what, we need to get rid of Haven Extraction. Ban that one because they just beat pure on that, and obviously they were so good on the Team Slayer one, so I don't see why you wouldn't ban that. Now, maybe they practiced enough, and maybe they're going to prove me wrong, be like, oh, they know how to play Haven Extraction, but to me, I feel like that was a very a foolish choice.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to be right on that, but at the same time, if this is the game type that they feel most comfortable on out of the others, they may feel that they can upset it here, or you know.
Yeah, they could, but I think you should generally be able to tell how you are on a map from Team Slayer or that. I mean, it's obviously there are small changes, but it is.
I agree with you. I just think they may have thought that going into it, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's just a fatuous decision on their part.
Hey, we'll see. So right now, Enable has the railgun. He's going to be underneath, trying to come up blue ramp, and this is really good positioning by him. He's just, like, I like to have one player kind of just anchor that, you know, guarantee that you're going to get that extraction and allow it to move around.
That's very smart. So especially with when it comes to the A site and the C site, you really do almost want to have that one person like, yes, I for sure can get the stop there.
Yeah.
Whereas B, it doesn't matter as much because there's so many different positions, and everyone generally, as long as they're alive and not an open ramp, they can get in position to stop it for the most part.
Yeah,
so
that's true. There's a lot of different angles.
Yes.
We'll see if a lot of people have been utilizing the bridges, and really the crazy thing about this B extraction that most people don't really understand is you need top mid to really get it, just because you need to keep the other teams back in their base, and it allows you to do that. And you see a lot of teams rush underneath, and it gets really chaotic. So
yeah, some people assume that you just have to be in vision of it to stop it, but that's not the case because the bomb site, or the extraction point, it's gonna blink anytime someone tries to extract or convert it.
Yeah.
So you can stand above it and look down, or you can also just go by the fact that, all right, if all four of us are alive, they're most likely not going to try to convert unless they get a kill first.
The blue team was able to convert it right there, and that's kind of something Enable was
That's surprising.
Enable was in a really good position, and he kind of left it, and that's what I'm talking about, leaving one person just to kind of anchor in and always be able to watch that. And then I usually rotate out depending on the spawns. When you have a teammate spawning behind you, like, all right, I got this.
Yes, because you need to take them more further up position. That's absolutely correct. But yeah, that was a conversion that should not have happened with him being alive. He should have been able to easily stop that. Or even if they did get a conversion, it should have been an easy guaranteed kill from the guys who converted it.
Correct.
You always need to keep that in mind too, that, all right, they're going to get this conversion here, but I can get this kill and turn this into a 4-on-3 in our favor. Or at least, flip it in our favor.
It looks like High Alert's going to be able to extract that off that. So, I mean, that's a single play that really changes things around.
It was. Ooh. And great snipe. See if he gets the dub ski? No, he does not. And we are here with Sniping Demon, living up to his name.
Even though he did go down there, I mean, SQ has been, the one thing I noticed is they're on top of these new extractions really quick, and that's, you know, especially with the AGL settings, it's a 3-second plant and a 5-second defuse, so it's almost vital that you get that initial plant. But
yes, absolutely. I like that it promotes the game to move on faster, and that's why you see so many people diving on B site. You want to be the first one to get that because that one's the hardest to convert.
That's so difficult, and a game can really get hung up there. And then you also need to make the smart decision of, say a team has it, like, do you let it go? Let's not waste too much time here, because you can get to a point where you can't even come back. You're so far down.
And for those at home hoping to get better at Haven Extraction, I try to, if I had to give one word of advice as far as knowing when to let an extraction point go, first off, this is excluding circumstances where they only need one more, you know, extraction to win. But you gotta cut it off about 15 or 20-second mark. If you and your team aren't together and getting ready to push in and make a good extraction on the one, you should take that time and be like, all right, that means we're gonna step the next one, or we're just gonna even up the score.
Yep, right on. So we're Sniping Demon with the railgun. He seems to be grabbing the power weapons for his team, at least for this game.
Yeah.
And he's going to be trying to lock down top mid. They do have this extracted. Is there a way that you would like to set up on this particular situation?
Now on this one, with top center, generally it can be armed in a few different spots. So it can be armed on the longer side of top center, or it can be on the ends, you know, closer to either Mohawk or open ramp.
Yeah.
So in each of those situations, if you have grenades, you're always going to be fine at Mohawk.
Yeah.
That's always a safe bet. open ramp is not as important. Even though Sniping Demon was there, I mean, sometimes you can't help your positioning, but you are very vulnerable there. Someone can bank a nade off top open ramp and just get that easy finish on you. You're always going to be seen there. Whereas when you have in the sides, I would just always like to be like Mohawk and one of the sides. So for example, in that exact last time, I would have been over at red and Mohawk, because that's where you could guard it from 2 different angles, just double teamed, and it's not going to be very easy for them to go out and clear out that whole side of the map along with disarmament at top center.
True.
And if they are able to clear out that side, generally you're going to have a teammate or someone that can slip by or spawn somewhere else that can get stopped still, like whether open ramp or going from blue top center.
You know, another thing I've been really noticing too that you can kind of tell by looking at teams and players on extraction, it's almost easier to notice, but how players use their grenades. That's so vital, whether you get a stop with it, whether you end up wasting it, or an important kill. So that's really one thing that's been kind of separating AM players versus the pro players, just solely on just, you know, grenades. Can do a big thing.
And being very aware of your hit markers, knowing, especially since we're playing obviously professional settings with no radar, with no enemies on your radar, you always need to pay attention to your hit markers. There's so many times that if I'm going around a corner and I'm not sure if someone's, let's say I saw someone around there earlier and I throw a nade, I can throw a nade there and no hit markers come up, I know that they're not there and I don't even have to check that corner. Whereas if it hits there, I know for sure I can go around and get an easy kill. And same thing for finishing off somebody. Like if someone's at the bottom of a ramp, open ramp, blue ramp, red ramp, doesn't matter. I'll throw a nade, and if I see hit markers, I know that person's going to back down and most likely run away. And so you can do predictions even without seeing your grenade hit somebody. You can go off the hit markers and play it smart that way.
We're jumping on board with APG, who was just on mid, but came down. He's a little weak and didn't want to go down there, but he is. So this might be a good time for. Oh well, it looks like there's 2 down on high alert, but they kind of are slowly pushing towards this.
And everyone's doing kind of what we were both talking about. You want to hold this top center. You want to control that so you can get the C. Now, obviously they're extracting C right now, but you see Ian, aka Enable from SQ, going down there and fighting, trying to get that finish from the guy who just converted it. And looks like Enable got the first kill, and I wonder if he's disarming? No, he is not.
One thing that, you know, like, really is so important is coming across top mid to go for it, because coming underneath, you may be able to clean up a kill on somebody else's kill, but you're not working on your own kill that you're lined up with on the spawns and such and so forth, and not really controlling the map too. So,
and this is perfect, like SQ, like Sin, PJ, and Flamesword, both top center. It's APG and Snakebite, sorry. They're both top center, holding that because they realize that they have to, they have to kill through there first, and if they don't, they're going to go through bottom where they're going to have no advantage. And look, he has 4 grenades. Imagine them trying to convert by underneath him. He could just nade them all by himself and stop that.
He did exactly what you were talking about earlier. He was one shot, he threw 1 grenade up top, 1 grenade underneath, looking for a hit marker just to do any damage and hold the team back, or you're going to let somebody know he's there. He's going to be able to trade. That was a good, he knew he was going out and was going to just try and get
the last second convert, and he just throwing a nade, gets the stop. So moves on over, and I like this. It's, it's very nice when you try to go for that early convert. Or the early extraction, and it looks like Enable got finished.
Yeah.
But that's it's a lower risk, high reward play, because if you're the ones there first, a lot of times people are still focused on the last extraction point. People are still spawning. People aren't in position for this new extraction point.
Yeah,
and with 3 seconds, you can get that off.
Yeah, sometimes it's important to, that's I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes it's not best to jump on it right away based on how many people, like, he may die and they'll convert it right back, so you have to know, like,
definitely situational, but I was just trying to defend in that case was saying Enable did not make that bad play, even though he died in that situation. It was a low risk, high reward situation.
Exactly. It's worth it to get that extraction. If you get it off, it gives you, you pretty much, you and your team can kind of control the game at pace.
And you have to have definitely faith in your team, and also understand the exact situation. You can't be doing that when you're last one alive or anything stupid like that. So, very situational, like you said.
Yeah. And I mean, you predicted it. Looks like this game is going in the favor of SQ with only 35 seconds left on that last extraction. And this APG with good positioning, he's just watching for the blink.
And the positions I'm talking about, Mohawk, and we have at this point Blue Streak, where you can see it where it's closer to top open. But they're just staying on the outskirts.
Very aware of that spawn right there. That's good. He knows that his teammates are on the other side of the map. only really leaving open in red. So they most likely will get a split spawn, but he was able to pick up a kill. Only a few seconds left, and this game looks like it's going to be going in the hands of SQ.
Yep. So SQ showing they're strong again. I mean, a couple dominating games right there. Love to see the scores here. APG having a ton of points despite only having 1 extract, so I want to see how many kills he has.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge. APG has... Dun, dun, dun. Wait for it.
UNSC.
Come on. 20 kills. Not as many as I expected, but that's still quite a bit.
And, you know, regardless, we saw a really good positioning out of there. The whole team really was doing a good job of locking down everything. So
they were, compared to earlier games I've seen, they stayed in great position on Haven this time.
Yeah.
They were always up top. They were rotating around the streets. They did that great both games compared to the earlier series.
So, real quick, while we still have SQ up here, I know you were aware of the APG coming new to the team. I don't know if you got to talk to this about